Hello everybody, my name is Elena. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've decided I'm going to do a tag video, and I'm going to do the book recommendations tag, which was made by Steph here on YouTube, which is like so creative and fun. I love it. So I'm going to link her video down below, and I've seen other people like do it since then. So I decided that I also want to do it because it seems so fun, and I want to recommend you some books. So let's get into it. The first question is a book you tell people is your favorite. So this is like, if you don't really know the person that well, like just like at the top of your head, like, what's your favorite book? And you go, oh, it's, for me, that's Shadow and Bone. But the Shadow and Bone trilogy is one of my favorite series, so it's not like I'm lying. There's definitely other series that I prefer, like Addicted Calloway and Like Us, but there's like such big series, and I don't want to have to explain to people like how they're connected, so I just go with the safe option, which is Shadow and Bone. This has a TV show as well. Season 2 is like just about to come out. I think it comes out tomorrow. I don't know when I'm uploading this video, but I'm filming it on the March 15th, so I think the TV show comes out tomorrow, so that's very exciting. Well, the second season. Anyways, read this trilogy. It's really good. Next question, a book that's your guilty pleasure. I had a really hard time picking something for this category, because usually if it's a guilty pleasure, I just want to keep it to myself and not tell anyone. Anything by Lily Gold. And that's all I'm gonna say. You can research the books and find them yourself if you're interested in reading them. Next one is a book everyone loved but you didn't. I tried reading Icebreaker. My phone stopped filming for no reason. I was talking about Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Everyone seemed to love that book, and I started reading it, and I really tried to get through it, and I couldn't. I felt like the characters were there just to be characters, and just so there could be, like, lots of characters, and I don't like that. Like, it felt really forced to me, and a lot of people say, like, oh my god, like, they communicate so well. They, like, he, like, made this white lie, like, basically the first time they were talking or something like that, and I don't know, I was just really annoyed. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood, but everyone seemed to like that book and I didn't. A book you read the fastest. If I really like a book, I can read it really, really quickly, but I guess in terms of length and time it took me to read, I think All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata has to take the cake, because I read that book in a day. I was reading it on my Kindle. I was just going through it, you know, and I read it in a day, and then I went to like add it to my read books on Storygraph and realized how big the book is, and I was like, but it's like a small town romance. It's very slow burn, single dad. So if you're into that, give it a try. A book that deserves more hype. Now, I finished this book just last night, and I'm still not recovered from it, and now I have to read the second book. But my heart is still beating out of my chest from the first one, so I have to mention it. That book is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. Oh my fucking god. I knew there were really big plot twists in this book because that's what everyone tells you when they recommend it, but I wasn't ready for the level of plot twistness. That's a word now. That was in this book. Holy. I'm still not over it. The writing was really pretty. It's like a YA fantasy, but it's like a twist on the YA fantasy because it's set in a prison, and our main character, Kiva, is the prison healer. So, it's very fun. Go read it. It has lots of plot twists. I cannot wait to read the second book. I gave this 5 stars. I didn't think I was gonna, and then like the last 20 pages, I was literally just sobbing. So I was like, I have to give it 5 stars now. So I did. Next question is a book that's becoming a TV show or a movie, and I'm going with People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This was picked up to be a movie, I think. I don't know if it's actually gonna happen. I don't think we have any like news on it. But yeah, I've talked about this book multiple times on this channel. It's like friends to lovers. It's really cute, summery vibes. It had some really good quotes in it, and Emily Henry's writing overall is just really good. So I can't wait to see this adapted into a movie. I hope they do a good job. Okay, next question is a book you've reread the most. There is no question. It's this one. It's Damaged Like Us by Kristen Becker-Ritchie. I've talked about this book so many fucking times and I'll talk about it again. It is so good. The whole series is so good, specifically this couple, Maximoff and Pharaoh. I've read this book 3 times, and I read it last year in, like, March. I had the urge to reread it again, like, a couple weeks ago, even though before that, like a month ago, I reread it because I was annotating my physical copy. I love this book. It's a bodyguard romance. It's a really big series, lots of familial dynamics, kind of really rich guy and his bodyguard. It's kind of like the sequel series to Addicted Calloway, so I highly recommend this series. I will always recommend this series. It is so, so good. I love it, and it's definitely the book that I have reread the most. A book from a genre you don't typically read. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a series. It's called The Naturals series. It's by the same author that wrote the Inheritance Games. So if you liked that series, I think you should, like, read this one. This is more like a crime thriller series. It's basically Criminal Minds, but YA. So if you're interested, like, please check it out. I usually don't typically read books like this. I enjoyed this series so much. I'm waiting for the other books in the series to arrive because I want to own it and annotate it and stuff like that. As you can see, it's not annotated. But they're, like, not that big, and they're really fast-paced, and it's found family, and there's a romance subplot, and it's really good, and I highly, highly recommend this series. It's just so fast and easy to get through, and it'll definitely get you out of a reading slump, I feel like. If you're in a reading slump, definitely pick up this series. A book that deserves the hype it gets, Six of Crows. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This book is so hyped, and for good reason. It's so good. It's phenomenally, like, thought out. The characters are what make this series. You immediately fall in love with them. They're all so different and so well fleshed out. The story comes together perfectly. Like, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll be losing your mind. Like, it's so good, and oh my god, I highly, highly recommend it. Some people say you have to read Shadow and Bone before you read Six of Crows. I personally agree. I think you'd enjoy it more if you did read that series before, but I didn't. I read Six of Crows first and then read Shadow and Bone, and I love both series. So you can, I guess, do whatever, but I would recommend reading Shadow and Bone first. But you don't have to, and this book is really so, so good. Next question is a book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. This is really hard because it depends on what kind of recommendation they ask me for, but if they just don't specify, I will probably say The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, just because this series is so easy to read. It's so fun. It's full of puzzles. It's like a YA found family book, and it has like a romance subplot. The books are really fast-paced and easy to get through, really easy to read. This series got me out of my reading slump, so I really like it. I gave all 3 books 5 stars. I know people probably won't agree, but I thought every book deserved 5 stars for different reasons. And that's all I'm gonna say because I can't spoil the series, but go read it. I loved it. I loved the whole mystery aspect. It's really good. Also, I feel like literally anyone would enjoy this series. So that's why I recommend it if people ask me for like a random recommendation. A book that has your favorite character. There's a book missing here. Can you guess which one? It's Damaged Like Us again. I have to. Okay, I have to. Because Maximoff Hale, this guy right here, is my favorite character of all time. I love him. I love him so much. He's so sweet. He's so nice. He's so brave. He's just like the definition of a good person and a heart of gold. And I don't trust people that don't like characters like that. Like, how can you not like him? Oh my god. I love this series so much. It literally means so much to me. And the fact that, like, my favorite characters from this series makes it so much better. I guess this is, like, a continuation of the last question, but it's, like, a book series or a book that you'd like to live in. So I have to pick Addicted Calloway because I love these characters. Not a day goes by where I don't think about these characters. My brain can't accept the fact that they're not real, so it keeps thinking about them as if, like, they're actually my friends. now that I've said that, that sounds really concerning. I swear I'm okay. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. I just really like these characters, and I would like to live in their world because I need to give all of them a hug. Like, they all deserve the biggest hug that I can muster up, and I can muster up some pretty big hugs, okay? Next question is a book you thought you'd hate but ended up loving. Now, for this one, the answer is kind of complicated, but it's Twisted Games by Ana Huang. Just because I started reading this book right after I read Twisted Love, because I was really excited about it because it's a bodyguard romance and I love bodyguard romances, but I somehow missed the little note in the front that the author put in to explain that part 1 of this book has lots of like time skips because it's happening technically in the past. And part 2 is where like it all starts flowing really nicely. I missed the memo. So I was really pissed with all the time skips, so I stopped reading. And then, like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I really want to read Twisted Games. So I picked it up, and I ended up loving it. I gave it 4.75 stars. So that was my situation with this book. I really like it. Reese is a really good book boyfriend. I love him. I think I like him the most out of all of the Twisted Men. This book really, like, changed something in me when I read it. And also, it was, like, a bit sadder than people usually make it out to be. Or maybe that's just because I was on my period and I found everything sad and I cried at everything. But, yeah, I didn't think I'd enjoyed this book that much, and I really ended up loving it. A book that made you cry. This is a repeat answer again. It's gonna be The Prison Healer. I can't explain how much I cried last night because the reveals that were happening made so much sense. So I was crying from shock, and then I pieced the pieces together, and all of the hints that the author was dropping throughout the whole book. I was a mess. I was a fucking mess. I could have gone to bed earlier and I didn't because I just like laid in bed and stared up at the ceiling, not knowing what to do with my life. So I once again, this is like your sign to read this series. I haven't read the other books, so I can't vouch for them, but this one I can vouch for. Last question is a book you wish you could read for the first time. And if anyone was worried that there wasn't going to be a Cassandra Clare book in this video, fear not. There is a Cassandra Clare book in this video. It's definitely Lady Midnight. I can't explain how I felt the first time that I read this book. I've reread it since, but I will never get that feeling back. Like, when I first read the book, like, that feeling, never coming back. Even though I still adore this book with all of my heart, I really wish I could read it for the first time. Because, like, that's, like, my kickstart. Like, this series is what got me really into reading. So, it holds a special place in my heart. You can't really read this series without reading the other ones. So, I'm really sorry, but this is the book that I wish I could reread for the first time. Or read for the first time. Okay, and that is it for this video. I'm sorry if it's a little bit messy. Like, my phone kept, like, stopping the video. So it's not, like, one continuous clip that I have to edit. It's now, like, multiple 3-minute clips. I don't know what's going on, but anyways. Hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Once again, Steph's video is down below. She created the tag, and I really liked the video. I recommend you watch it. And yeah, that's it for this video. Like it, comment if you'd like, maybe subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.